Start in temple pose today with your legs out wide and your knees tracking over the tops of your feet, fingertips on the outside of your legs, thumb on the inside. And then you let your shoulders come all the way up towards your ears, hips come down low, and all of your weight is being held in your arms so that your legs aren't really doing a lot of the work. Then we can just gently rock from side to side, making subtle little shifts, feeling the support of the earth underneath you. Stretch the insides of your legs and just notice where you might be holding tension. See if you can soften anywhere. And we'll come back to center. On an inhale, slightly broaden behind your shoulders, round your upper back, in other words. And then exhale, dip your right shoulder and twist and look toward your left. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, let's go the other way. Press your left knee away, gaze towards your right. Oh, always on that side, I get the back pop. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, coil in. Exhale, lengthen your spine, think cow pose. And let's do one more on each side. Come back to center. Straighten your legs. Turn your toes in towards each other. Inhale your arms out and up. Lift your heart as you lift your hands. On your exhale, slight bend in your knees and hinge forward from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands all the way down. And then lengthen your spine as you rise. Arms come back over your head. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, sweep your arms out, lengthen through your spine, hands back over your head. Exhale, fold. Let's do two more. Reach your heart forward as you rise. Exhale, hinge back down. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your heart, hands come over your head. This time, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, knuckles reach down, heart lifts up, and the knees slightly bend. Lengthen through your spine as you fold forward, hands come up and over. Soften through your neck, keep a really good bend in your knees. Soften through your shoulders. Shake your head yes and no. It might feel good to straighten one leg and then the other. And then come to the middle. If you were shifting from side to side, release your hands down to the mat. Inhale, lengthen out halfway. Hands underneath your shoulders. Weight towards the front of your foot. Keep pressing your feet down and apart. Elbows point straight back and then hinge again forward from your hips. Feel the stretch in the backs of your legs. Inhale, come up halfway, spine parallel with the earth. And exhale, fold. One more time, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold, and this time grab a hold of your elbows. Shake your head yes and no again. Soft bend in your knees. Relax your shoulders. Feel the stretch through the middle of your upper back or through your middle back. And then take your hands down to the mat and step back into downward dog, where you'll bend one knee at a time, stretch the backs of your legs again. Feel the stretch all the way into your calves. Press your heel down. Make sure you get each side, and you're just exploring, being open to what sensations come up, not assigning any judgment of saying, oh, I'm so tight, but maybe you're just experiencing today a sensation that might be different than other days, but there's no reason to qualify that as good or bad. And come back to center. Lift your heels above your toes. Tuck your chin. Inhale, round forward and come into plank. Arrive with shoulders over wrists. Inhale, lift from center. Shift back to downward dog. Stretch. Inhale, articulate your spine as you roll forward, nice and slow with control. Reach from crown of head through heel. Inhale, lift from the middle. Back to downward dog. One more time, round your upper back as you roll forward. Come into plank. Hold here for a moment to savor your strength. Press into your fingertips a lot. Press the earth away so you're lifting out of your shoulders, and then lengthen from your sternum to your heels. Draw your knees up towards your hips so you feel your legs really become a part of this structure as well. Now keep the strength in your legs. Point your elbows backwards and lower down slowly, using your legs as brakes as well as your arms. Fingertips to the outside edges of your mat. Tops of feet anchor into the earth so your knees lift. Loop your shoulders. Use your strong back to help you lift up. Just enough to come up for a breath of fresh air, and then release. A little bit higher, this time still just using your back. You may not even need your hands. Look, Mom, no hands. And then melt back down. This last time we'll use our arms, shoulders loop. Start with the back and then press into your fingertips. Lengthen through the front of your body. Enjoy it for an extra breath. Broaden across your collarbones. And then back to the earth. Hands underneath your shoulders, toes tucked, knees lift, navel to spine, and then one whole piece, come back through plank to downward dog. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths here. Deep inhale, and then exhale, open mouth. 2 more, and even stick your tongue out as you exhale. Last one, loudest exhale of the whole set. Beautiful. And then inhale, reach your right leg straight back. Stretch from your heel to the crown of your head. Exhale, drive your knee in towards your chest. Lift from center, shift forward, and place your right foot next to your right thumb. Ground your back heel. So you're in heel to heel alignment. Press down into the earth, hips sink low, arms sweep forward and up, collarbones point straight ahead. Bring your hands together. Keep your back leg strong as you hinge forward from your hips. Seal your palms to the earth. Square your hips. Step back into plank with control. And then let's take 4 whole counts together to come to the mat. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're moving slow and steady with patience. Shoulders loop. Find this liberating movement. And then release. Before you come back up, we're going to do the same thing, 4 counts. Tuck your toes, navel lifts, and then 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to downward dog. Left side. Inhale, left heel reaches back. Exhale, drive your knee towards your chest. Lift from center, shift forward. Place your left foot next to your left thumb. Ground your back heel, heel to heel alignment. Press down into your feet. Sweep your arms forward, hips lower. Strengthen your back leg, and then hands through center, back to the earth. Seal your palms, step into plank. Press into your fingertips. We'll take 4 counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tops of feet anchor, shoulders loop. Heart reaches forward, peel away from the mat, and then release. 4 counts, and this can be done through knee plank too. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then back to downward dog. Right side. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to center. Lift your center, shift forward, foot to thumb. Ground your back heel, same thing. Sweep forward, arms come up over your head. This time we'll add on, walk your right foot towards the center of the mat. Turn your shoulders to the left so you're in warrior 2, and then arms press down. Adding on one more thing, flip your front palm. Inhale, reverse warrior, bend your front knee as you sweep back. And then exhale, both palms to the mat. Step back with control instead of pressing your right foot back as if you're in a hurry. And take it slow, again, on the way down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, loop your shoulders. Release. And then back to downward dog. Same slow, 4 counts up. And then back to downward dog. Left leg, reach from heel to navel, stretch. Exhale, knee to center, shift forward, foot to thumb. Ground your back heel, start in heel to heel alignment. Inhale up into warrior 1, shoulder square to the front of the mat, back leg activated. Walk your left foot to the middle, turn your shoulders open to the right, press your hands down, rebend your front knee. Keep your front knee bent, find reverse warrior, and then hands all the way back down to the mat, palms sealed, stepping with control. Use your strong center. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tops of feet press down, shoulders loop. Release. And then 4 counts back up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to downward dog. One more time on each side. Right leg, inhale back. Exhale, knee to center, foot to thumb. Heel to heel, Vrksasana 1. Foot walks to the middle, shoulders turn to the left, hands press down, Vrksasana 2. Reverse warrior. And then both hands to the mat. Step back with strength, purpose, and then nice and slow on your way to the mat. Tops of feet press down, heart reaches forward, collarbones open, toes tuck. Resilience is key here. 4 counts up. And then back to downward dog. Last time, left side. Reach out through your left heel. Knee to center, hug into midline, shift forward, heel to heel. Warrior one, strong back leg, press down and back through your outer foot or your back foot. Warrior two, reverse warrior, and then back to the earth. Hips square, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach your feet down and back, heart reaches forward and soften. Then let's come back to child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. See if you can anchor your forehead into the earth or into your hands, maybe to the backs of your hands. Take a moment to examine any shifts in energy or in the attitude of your consciousness. What new window might you be opening? And shift forward from child's pose through all fours. Take your feet to the side and we'll come down to our backs. Reach your arms forward slowly, roll on back. And I always have to undo this little tie I do with my shirt there and take the scrunchie out. There's so many things. Okay, first things first with our core work. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. So you're starting, it looks like you're setting up for pigeon on your back, which is precisely what we're going to do before we do our core work. So draw your left shin in towards your chest and then clasp your hands behind your right thigh. Relax your shoulders. Keep your left foot flexed, but relax your right leg. And then notice sometimes when I come into this pose, I tend to crunch through the side of, through my right side in this case. So maybe try pressing your right hip forward to lengthen out through both of your sides and see how that changes the sensation for you. Remember to relax your shoulders too. Unclench your jaw. And notice where your mind starts to go when you slow down. Now take your hands behind your head. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders as far as you can off the mat and keep your gaze towards the ceiling. Take your right shin parallel with the earth, and then on an inhale, press your right leg out like you're actively pressing something away. Upper body lowers halfway down. On the exhale, draw left shin into chest, lift your heart, lift your hips even. Inhale, press out. Exhale, draw in. Speed is not the name of the game here. Slow and control. Inhale, lengthen out. Press your right leg away. Exhale, draw everything back into center. Heart lifts. Lift your hips as you come into center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw in. Let's go out together one more time with this leg. Right leg presses out. Exhale, take everything into center and then hold. Lift your heart a little more. Lift your hips just a little more, and then we'll pulse. So it's just your lower body moving just slightly. And find a speed and a rhythm that's appropriate for you. Want to feel this. This should feel like a little bit of work, just enough to create some heat and growth, the heat we need to keep us going and strong. One more breath here. And then release your right foot. Lower your upper body to the earth. Take this whole structure of your lower body and gently drop it over towards your right side. So your left foot is flat on the earth, but you've twisted over towards your right. And then grab a hold of your left foot with your right hand and take your left hand out from your shoulder, palm up. Take a moment to notice what kind of tension has arisen. And is this tension useful? Sometimes tension is good. A little bit of adversity helps us realize where we might have some opportunities to strengthen and fortify our areas of fragility. Just a little bit of uncomfortableness. And take your legs back through center. Release your left leg to the earth and let's cross sides. Right ankle over left. Draw everything into middle. Interlace your hands behind your left thigh. And we'll stretch again our outer right hip on this one. So you can relax your left leg, keep your right foot flexed. And on this side, you're making sure that you're not crunching too much through your left side, but that your left hip is moving away from left shoulder. Check in with areas of tension that you can soften. Check in with your mind as it starts to kind of find its way and do its own thing. It's totally okay. You can kindly usher it back to your breath and body. And take your hands behind your head. Tune back into your strength. Take your left shin parallel to the earth. Head, neck, and shoulders lift off of the mat. Gaze is straight up to keep the back of your neck long. And then on an inhale, like you're really honestly trying to press something away from you, lengthen out through your left leg. Upper body lowers halfway down. Exhale, drive everything back into your strong center. And inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, navel to spine as you come into center, hips lift. Inhale, lengthen. With control, not trying to hurry, but noticing everything, noticing your strength, not checking out, but checking in. Don't miss out. Be a witness to your own power. One more time, lengthen your left leg out long. Exhale, pull everything into center and hold. Gaze is up, head, neck, and shoulders high off the mat, and then little pulses. They don't have to be super big, but just enough to create a little bit of movement, to create some heat. Find your strength, your power, and witness it. Hold on to it. Where are you feeling it? Couple more breaths here. And then lower head, neck, and shoulders. Take the whole structure of your legs over to the left side. Right foot into left hand. Right arm stretches out from your right shoulder. So there's a little bit of a twist here. You might feel this in your lower back. You might feel nice on your hip. Bring awareness to any places where you're trying to clench or cling. And loosen, let go. And then we'll come back to the center. Place both feet on the outside edges of your mat. Take your arms above your head as if in soft parentheses, soft bends at your elbows. And then gently rock your knees from one side to the other. as if mimicking the sound of waves in a calm sea. And bring your knees back to middle. We'll roll to our side and then make our way back to downward dog. Walk your feet to the top of the mat. Take a bend in your knees and then bring your thumbs into the hooks of your hips. Press your hips back with your thumbs, reach your heart forward, and then come up to standing with a straight spine. Take a moment to put your scrunchie back into your hair if you need it. Probably Jim definitely had to put his hair back into his scrunchie. Okay, let's start this wave out by taking your hands to your hips and shift your weight into your left leg. Come up into your right toes, externally rotate from your hip. And what I want you to notice, since a lot of you know where we're going, we're headed towards tree pose. What I want you to pay attention to is that when you externally rotate from your hip, it doesn't go perfectly to the side unless you turn your whole body. So once you get up into Vrksasana tree pose, your lifted leg won't be perfectly aligned with anything. It'll be pointed slightly forward even. So pay attention to that, and then we'll move on. Well, pay attention to that while we're in it, but now we're going to move on. Cool. Take the sole of your right foot either to your left calf, or with a little assist, bring your right foot above your knee. And here's what I'm talking about. So you'll notice that if you point your right leg straight out to your side, that my shoulders turn too. So you want to keep your shoulders pointed forward, even if that means that your knee isn't pointed perfectly to the side. Now press your foot back into your leg and your leg back into your foot and draw your lower abdominals in and hug your lower ribs in. Now bring your hands together and feel the tension that keeps you held together. This is the kind of tension that we need that keeps us strong, kind of tension that fortifies. Now, if you'd like to add on, you could reach your arms above your head, turn your pinkies in. Notice how even just a little bit of something different slightly changes the way that you have to hold your body together. And then bring your hands back through middle. Hands to your hips. Take your knee forward and then back down to the earth. We'll do a little bit of a hip circle movement here. Work it out. Go from side to side. Go both directions. You guys enjoy this as much as I do. I'm just assuming you're all going, yes. Right, come back to center. Shift the weight into your right foot. So lift your left heel above your toes. Externally rotate. Notice again that your knee is pointed slightly forward, not perfectly out to the side. And then bring your left sole of your left foot to right calf, or assist to the inside of right thigh. And be careful that you're not leaning too far out to the side and you're getting an outer hip stretch rather than hugging everything into the middle together where it's stronger. Draw lower abdominals in, lower ribs in. Press foot into thigh, thigh back into foot. Shoulders are square, not turned to the side. Palms together, even press your hands together here to keep everything really strong. Lift through the crown of your head, press down through your foot, and then maybe lift your arms over your head if you feel balanced. Pinkies turn inward, thumbs turn out. So the palms of your hands are starting to point behind you. As you do that, you may notice that your lower ribs flare out, so draw your lower ribs back in. Keep everything pulled into the middle. And then hands come together over your head, through center. Hands to your hips, lower your left leg. And we'll take our hip circles again. Come back to neutral. Press down into your feet. Lift your arms up over your head. Big breath in. And exhale, dive forward, hips reach back, hands reach all the way down to the mat. Seal your palms into the earth and step back into downward dog. Take a cleansing breath, deep inhale. Exhale out your mouth. Bring your toes together and inhale your right leg straight back and then open up through your hips as you reach your right leg as high as you can. Bend at your right knee, bringing right heel towards your glute. Keep your shoulders square so that this is a hip opener more than a back bend. And then your left heel is working its way towards the earth. I love this because I feel like you get a great stretch of your leg that's grounded, but then it's a huge hip opener as well. So there's a lot happening here in this pose. All right, one more breath in. Exhale, hug your knee into center. Lift it up as high as you can. Use your strong core. Shift forward and then place your right foot between your hands. Ground your left heel. So you're setting up in heel to arch alignment. Left hand leads the way, sweeps forward, up and back into warrior two. Arms out long and strong. Adjust pants as needed. And really, honestly, your arms should be very active here. So you're not just like in the pose, you're in it. And both of your legs are really active too. So pull the inside of your left leg, strengthen it by driving your knee up towards your hip. Now that we're strong and fortified in warrior two, we'll add a little bit of movement and breath. I encourage you to close down your eyes here. On an exhale, you'll pull your hands to center. And then inhale, lengthen from heart to fingertips. Stretch your arms out from your shoulders. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, expand. Couple more, keep moving. Yoga and meditation really are about clear seeing of our patterns and biases. So allow these moments of pause to be about observation of your mind. And the next inhale, lengthen your arms out. Take just a moment here in warrior two. Open your eyes. Flip your front palm. Take your left leg down the back of your leg. Bend your right knee. Reverse warrior. Keep the length in your right side to come forward into side angle pose. And I know your right leg is already singing, but there's just enough suffering to create resilience, right? So take your right elbow on the inside of your right knee, manually turn your right ribs open, left ribs back. Take your left hand to your side and then slice to come forward. Left pinky rotates down. Notice if you need to return your left ribs back and keep your back leg really active. Again, pull your knee up towards your hip, press down and away and apart with your feet. Know that this temporary sensation of strengthening is going to not be forever, and the suffering will not last. One more breath here. This will be the hardest part. Come back up into warrior two. Oh, and then straighten your leg. We made it. We survived. Turn your toes in towards each other. Inhale, lift your hands above your head. Exhale, dive forward. And then pivot back to the top of the mat. Step into plank pose. And slowly, 4 counts, 4, 3, 2, 1. Instead of regular cobra, let's clasp our hands behind us, interlace your fingers, reach your hands back, reach your heart forward. And if it's okay with your lower back, add the legs by lifting your legs from where they connect with the glute. So heart is reaching forward and up, feet reach back and up. Keep the back of your neck long, reach the crown of your head forward, and then release. Couple of breaths with your hands underneath your forehead, taking your heels from side to side. And hands back underneath your shoulders. 4 counts up through plank, toes tuck. 4, 3, 2, 1. And back to downward dog. On your next inhale, lift your left leg straight back and let your hips open up as your left leg lifts as high as you can get it. And then bend at your left knee. So your left knee is lifting up, right heel is pressing down. Check your shoulders, make sure they're square, and the right side of your body is long. Keep pressing your hands down and forward, lifting your hips back and up. And on your next exhale, take your knee through center, pull it up as you shift forward, round your upper back, and then left foot right between your hands, so it's underneath your nose. Ground your right foot, heel to arch. Right hand leads the way, shoulders square, and we arrive in Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Feet or ankles underneath your wrists. It's a good indicator. Shoulders above hips. Sometimes we have this tendency to reach forward, so make sure you've slid back to where shoulders are over your hips. Broaden across your collarbones and draw your lower ribs in. Notice how that changes it. Now let's add our movement on in, and I want again for you to really just tune in to your breath. And as you get swept into a thought, just notice what kind of thought it is. Exhale, pull your hands in. Inhale, lengthen. Continue on with your breath. I'll tell you when we're going to move on. Let's do one more inhale out together. And one more exhale together. Now we'll lengthen our arms out. Keep your back leg strong. Activate the inner thigh muscle of your right leg. Flip your front palm. Inhale into reverse warrior. Keep your front knee bent. And then use the length of your left side. Come forward. Left elbow on the inside, so you're not supporting your weight, because we could do this all day. Left elbow on the inside of your left knee, so you're pressing your left knee away. And manually turn your ribs. Right ribs rolled back. Right arm starts at your side and then slices along your side forward and up. Pinky turns down. And when I'm in really difficult poses that tend to challenge me, I know that I can do it, but sometimes it's hard. I remind myself that I am here now in this, and I'm to help take me out of the story of it's too hard. Just remind yourself that you are okay, and focus on your breath.
Keep your back leg strong too. Now the hardest part will be coming into warrior two. On your next inhale, come into warrior two. Keep your front knee bent. And then straighten your left leg. Turn your toes in towards each other. Arms float above your head. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Walk your hands to the front of the mat. Square your hips and step back into plank. With 4 counts, press into your fingertips. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Tops of fingertips. Oh, let's clasp our hands behind us. This time do the odd way. So whichever way feels strange, put that thumb on top and cross the fingers the strange way. And then you'll reach your hands back, shoulder blades draw together, collarbones open. Lift your heart, keep your gaze down slightly forward, and then add your legs. This is a really good asana to strengthen your back muscles. You can't tell. Also hip flexors and your adductors too. Couple more little breaths here. And then release. Hands under your forehead. Take your ankles from side to side. Hands back under your shoulders. Tuck your toes. 4 counts back through plank. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to plank. And then walk your feet to the front of the mat for one more version of tree pose, Vrksasana. So we did, on Tuesday, we tried doing it with our eyes closed. This time we're going to try a little bit of a lean. So we're going to intentionally throw ourselves off balance to help build resilience. Ready, set, go. Okay, hands to your hips, heel over your toes, externally rotate. Keep everything hugged in. So you're not doing this, you're not in the sassy pose. Your left hip is pulled in. Take your right sole to the left calf or assist up. Strengthen from center. Take your hands, start here, find your balance, press foot into thigh, thigh back into foot, lift through the crown of your head. Now take your hands over your head like we did before. Now for the fun part will be to take your right hand down to your right knee, and then your left hand starts to come, I know you can't see it, but it's coming up and over as I lengthen the left side of my body. So it throws you off balance on purpose, just to try something different. Because if we're just doing the same thing all the time, we never grow, we never change. Oop, if you fall out of it, you can just come back in. Let's give it one more breath. Right hand to knee. Shift your weight into your left foot. Whoa. And then when you're ready, you come back to center. Take your hands to your hips. Let's roll our left ankle out. You go over the top and the toes. Go both directions. And come back to center. We'll do our last side here before we head towards the completion portion. Right heel out from your hip. Keep everything strong, zipped in. Right sole to where works for you. Which I just did this side, so you guys knew what I was doing. All right, left sole to the inside there. You guys were trying to help me out. I know it. I could feel it. Zip everything into midline. Start with your hands at your heart as you balance. Find the strength by pressing foot into thigh, thigh back into foot. And then left hand to left knee. Sweep your right hand out to the side and then lean over. So you have to kind of balance by shifting more of your weight into the right foot, even getting your right hip to the outside of your right foot to help create or to help create a structure that will stay in balance as you intentionally throw yourself off a little bit. Stay strong through your center. You may notice that one side is easier than the other. And then we'll come back to center. Bring your palms together. Feel the strength. Whoop! Got a little bit of a breeze here, almost knocked me over. And then left foot to the earth. Now let's roll out our right side. But that's an interesting way of looking at it. We have to strengthen ourselves so that when a breeze does come along, we're prepared for it. So it's not just one little gust that's going to knock us over. But if we practice taking ourselves off balance, then we're more prepared when something significant happens. Feet back under your hips. Let's come down to the mat. Inhale your arms over your head. Exhale, hands all the way down to the earth. And make your way to a seat. Feet in front of you, hands reaching forward, roll on back. Keep your legs bent. We'll take 2 rounds of bridge pose. Keep your feet in line with your hips, and as we come up into bridge pose, also keep your knees in line with your hips. We have a tendency to want our knees to flare out, but that ends up being kind of hard on our lower back. So keep your knees in line with feet and hips. Bend at your elbows. Fingertips point straight up. Now press down into your feet. Hips lift. Press your shins forward. And then you can rearrange your shoulders, roll them underneath you, so you get a little bit more height with your hips. You can lift up even more. And you're trying to lengthen this space from sternum to pubic bone. Keep the back of your neck long. Check in with your knees. Did they go wide? Make sure they're pulled in. One more breath here. And release. We'll do one more bridge pose together. Just a little bit of a breath here on the earth. And then we'll get ready for our second and last back bend set. We'll start with bent elbows. Come up the same way, shins press forward, hips lift. And then if you'd like to add on by interlacing your fingers underneath you and straightening your arms, you can. Same opportunity to take shoulders underneath you. Space behind your heart. Lift your hips even higher. Press down into your feet. Check in with your knees. Squeeze them towards each other. Space between chin and chest. One more big breath here. And then release. Hips to mat. Hands over your head like we did after our core. Feet wide. And gently rock knees from side to side. Start to soften. Tune into your body breathing. Let your breath cycle through inhale and exhale like gentle waves coming against the shore. And bring your knees in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. You can gently rock from side to side. Soften through your shoulders. And again, notice thoughts as they arise and pass away to the vast expanse of your consciousness. As you prepare for Shavasana, know that you can use your breath as an anchor when the current of thought starts to sweep you away. Lengthen your legs out long. Take your feet as wide as your mat, palms open along your sides. Scan your body and allow yourself to sink into the mat, into the support of the earth. Without moving or opening your eyes, simply become aware of the space around you. Invite awareness back into your body by deepening your breath with intention but not force. Small movements of fingers, toes, wrists, and ankles. On an inhale, reach your arms over your head, stretch from fingertips to toe tips. Bend at your knees, roll to one side, and pause. With your head on your bicep, take a moment to observe how you're feeling. And then use your top arm to press yourself up into a seated position. Bring your palms together at your heart. Sit with dignity at the top of your mat, reaching up through the crown of your head. Thank you so much for showing up today for yourself, for this community. Thank you to the people in our lives and those before us that have made it possible for us to have a yoga practice. And may you and all living things be safe, be happy, be healthy, and live with strength and ease. Namaste.